Howdy. Today is Monday night. Just came home from work probably an hour ago. Today was a good day, not too much scaffolding, just some deliveries, and I have some news to report. So news number one, or news piece number one, is I got rid of my fancy Roland accordion. Needed the money, so I was trying to sell it for probably, I don't know, 3 months. And originally I paid 3,000 Canadian for this Roland FR1X piano accordion, MIDI accordion. And finally somebody made me an offer of $1,700 Canadian. So I told them they were nuts, and this lady says, okay, I can do 1,800. Is there a case? I said, no, there's no case. Roland does not supply cases, it just comes in a box. And the lady says, well, no. I said, yeah, at least I need $2,000, right? Because I paid 3. And she says, well, the case is like $250. Which is BS, because you can buy a case for like $150 on Amazon. But anyway, so she would not go up to 2,000. And then I said, okay, I'll do 1,800. And she lives in Calgary, and then like it's through Facebook, and the profile, it's the picture of a lady and the lady's name. Let's call her Jennifer. And I say, okay. So she gives me the address. Because at first we were thinking of meeting somewhere in between, because she lives in central Calgary, I'm in northeast. And then she says, can you maybe bring it to my house? And I said, yeah, I could probably do that. When I looked on the map, she's not that far. And I said, what's your phone number? You know, like in case I need to contact you if I cannot reach you or something. And the lady says, my phone is dead. I can give you my husband's number. So she gives me the husband's number and does not say what his name is. Okay, and we agreed on a time, and this was Saturday, 2 days ago. And of course, you know, it's stranger's house, right? Which is always kind of like dangerous. Sorry, when I sell something, I try to meet in a public place. But this is a electric MIDI digital accordion. It does not work unless you have power. And you know, like, how do they try it out, right? Make sure that it works. And I even thought of bringing like my 50-foot extension cable, you know, because I thought I would tell them, hey, I don't want to go inside the house, you know, like, what if you're some kind of serial killers, you know? But anyway, I show up at the house. The house looks really nice, same as on Google Maps. And I call the number, and the guy answers, and I say, hey, this is Sergei, the guy with the accordion. Is Jennifer home? And the guy says, oh, she's downstairs, come on in. Okay. So normally I would never bring the item I'm selling to the person I meet for the first time. Usually I just bring the box, right? And I look at them. If they seem, you know, okay, then I'll bring the actual item, right? So, and I have the box, like the cotton box and the accordion. But this guy opens the door. I look at him. He's like 200 years old, you know, but he looks okay, even though his eyes are a bit shifty. And he says, come on in. And I said, okay, let me grab the instrument. So I go back to my car, I grab the box, the carton, and the accordion. I come on in, and the guy looks at it, and I said, you want to try it out? Like, I said, where's your wife? Like, is she coming? And he says, oh, well, actually, it's her birthday next week, so I'm buying this for her as a birthday present. Like, wait, So who was messaging me? Like, was it the wife or was it the husband, right? He never tells me his name, gives me, but he's all organized and ready to go. He has a clipboard with some kind of a quick agreement where he asked me to sign, and he said, oh, I'll put the serial number later. And he has money already. And they said that lady, I thought it was a lady I was talking to, right, via messaging. She said, I'll pay cash, $1,800. And he has $100 bills. They look legit. So I give him everything. He gives me the money. And so like really weird, right? So a lot of older people, they have no clue how to open a Facebook or you know, Kijiji, whatever, online account. So they use their spouse's account, and it's really crazy. But this guy says basically, yeah, he's buying it for his wife, but I even don't know his name. And it looks like all the time I was actually talking to him when I assumed it was his wife, you know. Anyway, crazy. But then I go to my bank. I'm still suspicious. I'm thinking something's gonna happen, you know, but he gave me the cash, so I deposit it into my bank's ATM. And because of course they check the money, right, when they deposit it, even through the bank machine. But no, everything goes through. The money is deposited, so the money is legit. So this guy is pretty much basically an idiot. He should have told me that he's the husband, not this lady, let's call her Jennifer again. Like, unbelievable. So that's one piece of news. So I sold the instrument, and it was kind of like weird, but the money was good. The money checked out to be okay. And now of course, the whole idea was I don't want to give up my studies, because I've been doing it for probably over 2 years. I have all the manuals, you know, teach yourself, you know, books. I want to keep on going. I think I'm doing good. So now I'm just gonna do get a cheaper acoustic accordion. And if things with my delivery driving career don't work out, or my freight brokerage, I can always get a license and do some, you know, some accordion music, busking, right? There's lots of money in that one. And then the second piece of news, probably more important, is that I knew that something would happen today, Monday, June 10th. So this is 40 days since I applied for Uber taxi license to be Uber driver, right? And it's been dragging on and on. So I started doing it on May 1st or May 2nd. Now we're in June 10th. And finally, so what, like 3 days ago, last week, I got an email from City of Calgary saying that they finally received an application for my TNDL for the license, either from Uber or Lyft. And then they said give us up to 3 weeks. And today I got the next most important email. This was from the TNDL training department. And of course, you know, they cannot just have 5 people working. They need to have like 200 people in 5 departments working to process this. And I got an email, and again, this one has nothing to do with training yet. They just sent me a form where I had to fill out my name and my address, and there was a checkbox which I had to check. And it says, I consent and I declare that I'm the guy who's basically taking this training. Like, I'm not sure what the purpose of this form is, except to justify the existence of 100 bureaucrats, you know, in the City of Calgary apparatus. But that's what it was. They said, well, you will not receive a link for online training unless you fill out this form. Again, just my name, my address, and the checkbox where it says I consent and I declare that I will be taking the course. So I filled out that one and emailed it back to them. So hopefully, they said now within 2 days I should receive that link, final link for the training, and then I do the online training, and then I take the test, and so 2 more steps, and I should be getting my TNDL, Transportation Network Driver license, basically license that enables me to work for Uber or Lyft, not as a taxi driver, not as a limo driver, but only for Uber or Lyft. So, and once again, just to put things into perspective, so I started on May 1st or May 2nd, and today is June 10th, and that's how long it takes. And so I'm super grateful to a guy who left a comment on my channel saying that I should apply for Lyft, and Lyft will push things through faster, and I think that's what happened here. Otherwise I'd be waiting probably for another 4 weeks, you know. So that's news number 2. And news number 3, I remember that Umberto guy whose truck burned down, and so now he has his own truck, his own trailer, and he joined Mercer, not Landstar, because Landstar, it was again like probably over a month to sign up with, because you know he lost he was off the road for more than 30 days, so you have to go through the, you know, onboarding again if you have not been on the road for 30 days. So he went with Mercer, and now I talked to him on the phone today, and he says he's not too happy with Mercer because they have the same system, kind of like a load board, but their load board is empty. Like there's nothing there. He says the Landstar load board is much more, you know, practical. It has loads. Like these guys have pretty much no loads, especially for Canadian drivers who can only do loads across the border. And so when he called the, you know, help desk, they said, oh, you have to talk to your coordinator, as they call him, coordinator or dispatch. And so he called the dispatch, and he just did the load from I think he said Whitby, Ontario to Jacksonville, Florida, pulling his own step deck. And I think he said he made like $2 per mile to the truck. But he's disappointed that there's no load board pretty much. Each time he has to talk to basically dispatch, who will give him a load, you know. So definitely they don't have as many loads as Landstar. And he says he's gonna stay with them maybe for another few weeks, and then if he doesn't see, you know, the loads, he's gonna quit and go back to Landstar. And I've been also bugging him. I said maybe you should get your own authority, you know, just go on your own. But he's not sure, because of course, you know, not everybody can do it. You have to be of certain, you know, mindset. You have to be ready to be self-employed 100% of the time, because nobody will give you things on a plate. So the guy is thinking. He's thinking, but he has his truck, he has his trailer, and he has his Kenworth truck has a 13-liter per car engine, and the truck is like 2 years old, and he already had issues where one of his injectors failed, and he had to replace the injector. And I said, wait, I never had this issue with my truck, you know. And he says, well, I talked to other people, and they said that, yeah, this 13-liter PACCAR is famous for poorly designed injectors, and so sooner or later you have to replace them. And so yeah, I never was a big fan of these 13-liter, you know, smaller engines, but my comments, if you watch my videos, the only issues I had were not with the engine itself, but with the DEF system, you know, DEF sensors, you know, dirty DEF or whatever. But the engine itself was, you know, super reliable, even with all these additions, or with all these you know, DEF stuff. But he's 13-liter, you know, pretty much new truck, and he already has an issue. Okay. In other news, if you remember, last year I did some photography at a Stampede corporate events. Like there were 2 days, and where I was hired as a photographer 4 hours a day, 2 days. So, and this time they reached out. I'm guessing they like my photos, and I was able to get days off on these 2 days in early July. My company allowed me to take days off, which is pretty good, so they're pretty flexible. I said, yeah, can I please, I can come back later if you want. I can come after lunch, but I need to be able to be away from 8 to 12:30 on this particular Tuesday and Thursday. And the boss said, well, just fill out a holiday form and we'll consider it. And so I fill out the form. I said, yeah, I just want to be away on these 2 days. And so what they did is they gave me both days off, Tuesday and Thursday, in early July, because I don't want to miss this opportunity. And I asked the lady for a raise, because everything is up in price, like fuel, food products, right? And they have a committee that determines these budgets. And she called me today and she said, okay, we can give you a little bit more money, but can you please delete the videos you made last year about this event? I don't know, people always hate YouTube videos about their business, and they said that, yeah, it would be okay if you did videos about just photography or video or showing stuff. But I remember I was talking about well, some things I said that they did not like. So now I have to go back 1 year and find these videos that I made about these 2 breakfast events and delete them. So, and I said, yeah, I don't think they got too many views, because this was just basically about photography, right? So about entertainment, and I think maybe I got like 2,000 views each, so which is nothing. And so yeah, so when I come back from this little shopping expedition, I'm gonna go and find those videos and make them unlisted. And in other news, we went on a hike on a Saturday with my friend Rob, right? If you saw the previous video, we did 10 kilometers, probably took us 2 hours, 5 kilometers up and then 5 kilometers down. And while we were walking, we were exchanging some stories. And my friend says, man, you should probably, those are quite some stories you were telling me, like maybe you should do some kind of a podcast or autobiography. And I thought, wait, I could probably do like a series of videos about this. And I know most people would not be interested in this, but I know some of my hardcore fans and subscribers would probably want to know the background story, basically the story behind the man. And so starting tomorrow, Tuesday, I'm starting a new series. It's going to be called 0 to 60 with Sergei Dratchev. And I'll do 1 or 2 episodes each week where I will focus on, like 5 or 10 years of my life. So starting from 0, where I was born in Hungary, in Budapest, Hungary, and let's say 0 to 7, then 7 to 15, stuff like that. So you will see this 0 to 60 kind of like a playlist over the next few weeks. Like if you don't care about my autobiography, just don't complain, just don't watch it, okay? If you're interested, watch it. And actually I'm gonna make them into live videos. So while I'm doing the video, the questions will be open and you can ask me questions in, you know, on the air, well, on the internet, right? So these will be live videos. Again, the series will be called From 0 to 60 because I'm 62 years old. So we're gonna start with 0, Budapest, Hungary, and we're gonna end 60, which was 2022, when I sold my truck and trailer. So I'll try to make it humorous and entertaining and focus on some things that were funny or significant, or, you know, shed some light. Some people were curious about, like, what was life in the Soviet Union like, you know, back in the USSR days. So I hope I can make it entertaining and interesting. So when you see that 0 to 60, episode 1, episode 2, if you're interested in that kind of thing, tune in, like, subscribe, leave some nice comments. Sergei out.